Step 1, wake up early, gonna rise with the sun. Step 2, get some good, some food in you. Step 3, think real hard about what you want to be. Step 4,
Welcome to Tales from the Field. My name is Bradley Ball, and it's so good to have you with us. If this is the first time you're joining us, make sure to hit that like button. Also subscribe to our channel. We have live shows every Tuesday and Thursday at 1 p.m. Eastern Time. On our Tuesday show, we play a game with one another, and we also have a special guest where we interview them and bring them to you. They are from the Azure Data community. On Thursday, we have a community roundtable where we cover your blogs and topics and the other goings on that happen in the community so we can bring them to you. Great knowledgeable information that just run the gambit for the data platform. A brief overview of Tales from the Field. This is a show about the technical community, for the technical community, by the technical community. And in this technical community, we have the amazing product groups that build the products that we work with. Microsoft MVPs, and maybe you don't know what that is, but an MVP is someone who participates in the community, speaks, blogs, creates video content such that they are recognized by Microsoft as one of the key influencers of their community sitting outside of Microsoft. They are renewed every single year, and often we'll talk with people who have been MVPs for well over a decade, which is a feat in and of itself. We will talk to world-renowned speakers, bloggers, authors, all sorts of folks that make up this community. Our goal is to give them a platform so you can get to know them, learn a little bit more about them, and also the things that are important to them. When I was at Live 360, I sat down with multiple MVPs and multiple members of the Azure SQL product group. This interview is one with Allan Hirt and Karen Lopez. Both of them have been MVPs for over a decade, are prolific speakers at many international conferences, user groups. They've written books, they've written many blogs. They are people, some of the best consultants in the business in their respective fields. In this interview, we talk about Thanksgiving plans, our love of Disney, running races, and we also talk about technical topics as well. This is an interview where you get to know some people within the Azure Data community. I hope you enjoy it. Thank you for spending your time with us.
Step 1, wake up early, gonna rise with the sun. Step 2, get some good, some food in you. Step 3, think real hard about what you want to be. Step 4, everybody just do your thing.
Wake up, today's gonna be a good day. 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 Yo. Set your affirmations, aspirations. I got shit to do, the aftermath of preparation. Good food, good mood, blood in circulation. One step at a time, yeah, that's how you make it. Set a goal you control and the steps you take them. I try to pick one thought, have some concentration. And if I make a mistake, it's called education. I try to do this every day, call it replication. Wake up, today's gonna be a good day. Wake up, today's gonna be.
Welcome everyone, my name is Bradley Ball and I am here with Karen Lopez and Allan Hirt. Allan, you are a 14-time MVP for Microsoft?
I think it's 14, started in 2009.
Wow, okay. Yeah, that's amazing. Karen, you are, I know it's more than 10.
It's at least 10 years.
It's at least 10 years. And in your data platform category.
Data platform.
And Allan, you are 2 categories
Yep.
that you're an MVP in.
Data platform and cloud and data center management, AKA Windows.
Wow. So,
Is that where it went?
Yes, that's where it went.
I was going to say, how many Live 360s have you spoken at?
4 or 5? I'm not sure.
Okay. I was here when it started. I
Yeah.
can't remember if it was 2012 or if it was 2011.
Yeah. Well after that.
Yeah, I was going to say, but
I've done these 3 or 4.
Okay. Yeah, because we've all been coming here for quite some time. And what were the topics that you had a pre-con on Monday, and was the full Azure Data Platform?
It was most of it, but it was, I think, 8 parts of Azure Data Platform, so SQL Server, dedicated pools, Databricks, Azure Streaming, Azure Data Factory, ML Studio. How many else were there? We just hit all of it hands-on in one day.
That's incredible. So when you were in the room, I know when I was doing my pre-con with Buck and Josh, one of the big things that people really reacted to in a way that almost surprised me was purview. We had to table the whole conversation because they just wanted to talk about that over and over. I was going to say they were going gaga for it.
Yeah.
What were some subjects in your pre-con that people were?
Well, so we kind of build it intentionally in a way. Like, of course, we're SQL Server people, database people at heart. So definitely foundation there. So start with storage, go to databases. Oh, we also talked about Cosmos DB and all of that. But the thing was, the way we pulled it all together is we made the last lab Azure Data Factory, pull data from storage, databases, do transformations, and then send it to a whole bunch of different places and the one thing we did that I thought, okay, it's my idea, I'm bragging, was it took some reference architecture diagrams from the documentation from Learn, put them up at the beginning of the class and told people, how much do you understand about this? Do you know what these things do and everything? And then we go through the whole class, and then at the end we put the same architecture diagrams back up and said, now do you see, and there were things on it like cognitive services that we didn't cover. But yeah, we pulled all those things in and said, now if someone brings you a diagram, do you pretty much understand? Like, we can't cover anything in any depth.
I completely hear that. So, one of the things you made me think of, I used to do a talk on locking internals, and I would throw up like the lock hash algorithm key that was like the crazy checkbox that was like Pepto-Bismol pink and blue, and I would go like, okay, how many people understand this? This is locking. Good night, everybody. And I'd pretend to walk off, and then I'd go, no, we're going to talk about this. You're going to understand this a lot more by the time we're done. And I love that concept, though, throwing that up beforehand, doing your full day, and then throwing it up afterwards and going, hey, what did you get? Is this more clear?
Yeah. So I think people were excited not so much about Azure Data Factory, but it showed that Azure isn't just a bunch of silos of services that they can all interweave and everything. I really, like me being a data architect, I want to cover Purview, data catalog, and all that. Of course, not enough time in a one day.
Oh no, I mean, it could be a full day in and of itself, just being able to go, here's an architecture we've already built, now let's go through and show how we would begin to interact with it.
Exactly. There's so much I want to do. So this was based on a 2-day class that I've done, and even a 2-day class on Azure Data Platform, hands-on.
That's a lot.
That's
still a lot to cover. Yeah. So Alan, you have a full day pre-con on Friday.
Yeah. So I have a post-con on Friday where I'm going to be covering basically how to architect SQL Server deployments on premises, physical, virtual, cloud, hybrid, hyper-converged, the whole bit. Because everybody's like cloud, but the reality is as a consultant, I see a lot of people still doing on-premises stuff, and there are even people now who were in the cloud now need to move some stuff back. So you need to understand what all that looks like, and where you're deploying. There's cost stuff around it. There's manageability stuff around it. There's just how you do things. There are licensing considerations, which is sometimes different than just plain old cost.
Absolutely.
So kind of getting people to understand that SQL Server is more than installing an instance of SQL Server. And then just, while I'm not going to be going in depth about like Azure SQL Database or MI, the reality is you still have to cover that because it's still considered SQL Server. And I do touch other clouds, like here at Live 360, I can talk about what AWS offers and what GCP, whereas next month when I'm speaking at Azure Data Conference, it's going to be Azure focused.
That's the Azure Data Conference out in Las Vegas, and that is the second week in December?
Yeah, so it's I think 6 to 8 of December, something like that.
Still time to sign up.
Yeah, absolutely. It's at the MGM, I think, or wherever that.
Oh yeah, no, I remember
yeah.
that. As a matter of fact, so I'm missing this year, but every December they have like the Professional Bull Riding Association there.
Yeah, like last year, I was like, what is? Oh.
Well, and it's funny because I got into several conversations with gentlemen in the elevator where I said, how many cowboy hats do you bring to one of these? And they had multiple cases, and I mean, we had a whole discussion. There was a formal hat, there was a riding hat, there was a Post Trophy. I mean, there was like a process. This is for going out, and I'm like, all right. I mean, look, it's something that I've never been exposed
Yeah.
to. It's interesting.
I didn't even know it was a thing, and then like there are like thousands of people, and I'm like, this is a thing.
Exactly.
And by the way, no disrespect, if that's your thing, that's awesome.
Oh,
It's just I literally had no idea.
Well, it was funny because when I got back to Orlando, I go and I pick up my bags, and Sue met me at the airport, and I said to her, and she goes, so how does it feel to be home? And I said, kind of weird. I said, turn around, there's a flight of people getting off, and like hundreds of people coming down the stairs to get their bags. And I go, you see that whole crowd? I said, all of them should be wearing cowboy hats, and none of them are, and it's really freaking me out right now.
That's cute.
Yeah.
That's great.
Yeah, so let's see. So we've got those things. We're going to be getting towards the holiday season. Any fun plans for the holidays? Now, you're coming down for the race
The
for
race
Thanksgiving. Yeah.
that you've promised you're going to show up to.
I signed up for it. I did.
Run Disney stuff.
No,
No,
I already did
Space
it.
Coast thing.
Oh.
We've done the Disney stuff. I'm
Gotcha.
kind of done with it, but every year for now a decade, I think, there's a marathon and half marathon at the Space Coast. It's always the Sunday after Thanksgiving, which makes it problematic. But I'm walking the half marathon
Oh, wait,
this
it's
year.
on Sunday?
Yeah.
Oh,
Uh-oh.
I thought it was on Saturday.
Oh.
No, that's good because
Yeah.
I was like, oh, that's going to be tough on
Yeah,
Saturday.
yeah.
Oh, Sunday I can. Yeah.
Sunday.
Oh, I'm excited about
and,
that.
And it's a really friendly race because, like, the half I'm doing, it has a time limit the same as the full, which is nice. So I can just walk
that's
it.
what I
have
signed up for.
Yeah, you signed up for the half. You're gonna you'll finish like hours ahead of me, and we'll all be happy. But it's just, I mean, there's a real attraction to it. It's a very friendly local neighborhood. It's along the Banana River on a road that has the highest elevation is a speed bump. And you get great views of the VAB, if you're, depending on what course you're on. And the community is really supportive of it. And the medals are giant space-related medals. So
That's what I'm super excited
Yeah.
about. It's funny because Gareth and I did the Space Coast triathlon.
yes, sir. I tried to do that, right?
Yeah.
I remember.
We did it as a relay.
Yeah,
And-
that's how I wanted to do it.
And I remember he got to ride out and he got to take some pictures by some
Yeah.
of the pads because
Yeah.
the bike road went out
Yeah,
there.
and the reason I couldn't put a team together is everyone owned a bike. Nobody wanted to run, and definitely no one wanted to swim.
Yeah, that run was difficult because it was super windy and you have
Yeah.
to go up over the bridge.
Yeah,
And then
bridges
they turned
are
it
tough.
around and they went back over the bridge. So
Yeah.
it was like you didn't even get to the fun areas of anywhere in the space zone.
Yeah.
It was we ran across and then back across the
Exactly.
bridge.
Yeah, bridges are tough.
Like-
People don't realize how tall bridges are.
Well, in 20-mile-per-hour wind going
Mm-hmm.
against you, like going out, it was somewhat difficult,
Mm-hmm.
but at least it kept you from being hot. When it was at your back, it was helping you move, but now you didn't have the
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
cool breeze at your feet.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
it was rough.
Yeah, yeah. There was the Space Cape Canaveral one that raised funds for the Cape Canaveral Lighthouse that goes through the whole shuttle landing facility and by the mate thing and all this other stuff. You have to run on one runway, like 2 miles on a runway. It's hot. It's
Oh.
reflective paint.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When I was in the Caribbean on the Disney cruise, they've
Oh,
got a 5K,
Yes.
and I ran that. And believe it or not, there's actually an airstrip on that, and that's a large part of the
Yeah,
run.
yeah.
Oh, that was rough.
It's
the
hard.
Caribbean heat, and we were also there in June, so it's
Yeah.
like in the summer.
Yeah.
Yeah, when I got back to the beach and the wind was blowing, I wanted to die. It
Yeah.
was, yeah. I'm not
So
typically
fun.
an ocean person, but I
I
was
know.
like, yeah, I'm jumping in. This feels good.
Yeah. No, that's all a lot of fun.
So how about you, Alan? Any good plans for the holidays?
I'm looking to be a little low key. This year's been a year, so I'm just kind of looking to just relax a little bit and just
You
kind
should
of
come
wind
around
down.
with us.
No.
He would probably show us both up.
I know.
I mean, I'll be going to visit a friend. I'll probably do some music stuff like I normally do, but just trying to be fairly low key.
Yeah.
Like before Azure Data Conference, I'll be in LA for a day. So
Oh, cool.
so I'm seeing I'll see a show at the Potato. Baked Potato, which is a jazz club.
Excellent.
Little north of it's a little north of Hollywood. Go on 101, actually right where Universal is. Pretty
Oh,
much
cool.
is that exit. Like you go right to
Okay.
Universal, left where, like I think it's Kaihon Canyon or something. But yeah, it's like Baked Potatoes right there.
Cool.
Nice, nice. I went out to Disneyland with my son Will. He'd always wanted to go to the Halloween Oogie Boogie nights,
Yeah,
and he's a
yeah.
senior in high school.
Oh,
so
okay.
that was like his special thing that we did for him being a senior.
Nice.
Was
Oh,
we
cool.
flew out, we did the Oogie Boogie nights. I walked more at Disneyland than I have in I don't know how long. I mean, as a matter of fact, the only day I have where I had more steps in than that was when I did the half marathon.
Disneyland, and for people who are used to Florida, it's Disneyland's a very different thing. So is Tokyo Disney, and I've been to all of them except for Hong Kong. No, I've been to Hong Kong, Shanghai.
Oh,
So
really?
yeah, to me, like I would rank Tokyo Disney first, and then everything is a distant second.
Wow.
But then if I had to rank them, it'd be definitely Tokyo, Disneyland, well, as it was now, and maybe not so much. World.
See, I love California Adventure. Going out and seeing Cars, the Pixar Pier, the new Marvel Avengers
Disney
campus.
purists don't like this, but I'm with you.
Oh yeah. Oh, I love it so much.
Yeah, but see, I remember it. So to me, they should just rename it because California Adventure was when they opened it, and it had a whole really theme around California. They pretty much removed everything around the theming for
Because
that.
it wasn't, it didn't work out profit-wise, so I'm good at
See, things I have no problem with that. Just rename the park to be
Disney's-
Pixar Park. Disney
Well,
Pixar
probably
Park.
Disney Studios because they've got the Marvel, they've got Pixar, they've got
They
Cars.
basically have that in Paris, and it's all right. I'm not gonna curse, but it's not very good.
Oh.
The one in Paris is
But I saw the documentary they did on that. Paris is not very good to begin with. I mean, not Paris the city. Paris is great. Paris is Disney.
So I've been there twice,
And once.
and it's an experience.
I did it for the bucket list. Like, I'm in Paris.
Yeah.
Let's go to Disney. See what it's like. Get it off my list.
Yeah, and you can actually take the tunnel from St. Pancras right to Marne-la-Valley, which is the station there.
Yeah.
Wow.
Oh, cool.
So
that's good to know.
That is.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, I go to space museums instead of Disney's.
And that's okay. I go to Disney here locally and Universal.
I've really been to Disney. I went just for the first time in years, forget COVID, to Disneyland in last September. I probably won't go again for a while. Probably the next time I go to any Disney park will be Tokyo Disney whenever I go back to Tokyo.
Cool.
That's really cool because Sue and I are talking about, because the kids are getting older, right? Serenity is in 7th grade. She's going to be making it to 8th. And, you know, the end is in sight for when we have kids at home. So we've started talking about, okay, I'm going to be in my early 50s. She will still be 28 years old. We've established that. I get to age, she does not.
That's me and my twin brother.
Exactly.
He gets older. I don't.
Yeah, exactly. We celebrate the anniversary of a birthday. And so when we get to that age, I told her, well, we've talked about for a while that we're going to travel, we're going to do these things, we got to think about what we want to do. I've always wanted to go to Japan. And
Japan's really cool.
I was going to say
going.
Tokyo Disney was on like my list, but it was kind of minor. Now with that testimonial, I'm making it major.
So here's the thing: Disney Sea, which is the second park,
Yeah.
is the best Disney park in the world. Period.
Really? Ooh.
No question.
That's high praise right there.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Tokyo Disney, Disneyland itself is, to a degree, a carbon copy of what Disneyland was, but it's changed so much over the years that it's not totally anymore. When it first opened in 1983, I believe, it was pretty much just Disneyland in California in Tokyo, and then they deviated. They have some like cool rides that aren't there. You know, like Pooh's Honey Hunt is really cool. It was the first trackless one. So like what they have Ratatouille was that's like that kind of ride.
Which is amazing. Like as a computer technologist, when we go in and we get to be in these rides, I can't help but go, oh, here's the telemetry in the data. I'd love to see this, but
How
when
does
you've
this
got these drone-like rides that are, you know, looking at a laser marking and they've got specific paths that are coded in there, it's like, oh, how cool
Meanwhile,
is
I
this?
grew up with Leagues Under the Sea and what are all the old rides that don't exist? And then Tom Sawyer's Island, whatever that was called.
And Avatar uses the Xbox Kinect, which of course we're not doing it anymore, which I think is hysterical, but that's how it does that body scan to be able to do the infrared and stuff like that. The first time it happened, I was like, oh, I know what that is.
Epcot used to have a lot of stuff like that was like just certain
City of the
technology that you
future.
know what it is, but
Cool.
like that's the other thing for me. Like I remember going to Epcot in like 82, 83, whenever, like soon after it opened. It's so different for me now, like because the whole thing with Epcot is like there were no characters. Like it was
a city of the
different
future,
thing.
kind of world of the future.
And now it's just like, well, It is what it is.
Yeah. Now, I'll be honest, it is my favorite park, and a big part of it is the food stalls, because they have the food stalls going
Fair enough.
year round now. And so as a local, that's just a great thing for like an adult date night. Like we'll get couples together, we'll go over to the park, and dinner, there's any number of great restaurants there we could get reservations at, but you could also just be like, let's walk around. And if you walk around the circle twice and then out to your car, it's 5K. And so it's a great way to be able to go,
Walk it off.
I'm gonna eat around the world and walk it off.
So funny talking about steps and everything. I think I told you this, but on Monday during the pre-con, somehow my watch recorded 18,000 steps, which is less than a half for me.
Yeah.
I mean, more than what I would get on a half. And then the other thing is it recorded almost 100 minutes of exercise. And I think that was just getting up and down off the platform.
Oh yeah, so I am got to start running on a more regular
Me
basis
too.
again, and the half marathon and the hurricane threw me off,
Yeah.
and then this conference has thrown me off,
Yeah.
and so
And you just ran a half, right? You did the wine and dine?
I did, yeah, I did an 8K on Monday.
Oh yeah, you did this challenge.
Well, and normally, like my normal run days are like I run every other day,
Yeah.
and I'll do a half K, I do a speed run that's like a 5.5,
Yeah.
and then I'll do another 8K, and then Sunday I try and do like a long run,
Yeah,
where I'll do
yeah.
between 12 or 15.
Yeah, well that's great.
So I need to start doing that again though, because otherwise we're going to get up to this half marathon, and I'm
I'm
just
walking
gonna, I'm
it.
going to
I'm
be second
telling
way.
you, I'm walking it. I already know. Because it tends to be hot that day by like not just Florida hot, but
Oh yeah, not unseasonably hot. No,
Yeah.
just hot. That's why I run all summer long.
yeah,
so
yeah,
I'm,
you
I'm
have to. That's me in the
acclimated to
winter. That's me in the
Yeah.
winter. I try to run all outside a little bit in the winter to get used to cold temperatures, because like the Disney races in January and February
oh yeah.
below freezing at Disney.
Sometimes.
Sometimes.
Yeah.
I did the one that was cruelly bad, like
Yeah,
10
you
below.
did the Dopey Challenge one, right?
Twice, yeah.
Yeah.
And then
look,
went to and the next week and went and did the Star Wars challenge in Anaheim.
I want to go out and do a race over in California at some point in time.
Yeah, we should
I've
do
never.
that. There's
yeah.
no more Disneyland ones, but
Yeah.
there are plenty of others. So yeah.
Yeah. Well, they just brought them back. They announced
did
them
they
at
bring them back?
D23.
Yeah,
Oh, okay, good.
they announced it a few. There was, I think,
Oh.
it's 2023 or 24. They're
Okay,
coming
cool.
back.
Yeah.
Those I actually enjoy those Disney races more because you can stay right next to the race start. It's very casual. There's not a lot of highway running.
Yeah.
There's a lot, but not as
Anaheim's
much.
screwed up in its own different way.
It is.
like just yeah.
But it's just that, like the Disney World ones, are like go 3 hours before the race, try to find a place to park.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
You wake up at 3:30 to be able to get like a 5:30, 6 a.m. start time.
Yeah, and then there's a mile-long walk to get to the start. And,
Sometimes, yeah.
Like not
Oh.
bad, but Anaheim literally.
Well, yeah,
The
I think
hotel I
that-
stay at is across the street.
Well, and I think that's what people who are Disney people who are used to just World, don't
Yeah.
understand that literally Disneyland is like
right in the middle of the city.
Well, it's and everything's next to each other, and like there's this whole ecosystem right outside the park.
Yeah.
Oh,
There's
yeah.
all the hotels you can stay on Catella and just walk up.
Yeah.
And
We stayed at the California resort. The
California
resort.
Adventure or whatever.
Yeah.
No, what's it called?
yeah,
I've done that.
Yeah, I know where you're
Yeah.
talking
Oh, that
about.
place was great.
I'm a Hilton girl. There's a Hilton right next door. Not
Yeah, at the
great.
convention center.
I'm
Yeah.
Marriott.
Yeah.
I debated doing that, but I was like, no, I want to stay right there so I can just walk.
Well, it's just a short walk from the Hilton.
Well, and
It's
what I
like-
loved, I'll show you afterwards. I've
Yeah.
got it on my. But we had a great view of the Disneyland fireworks from the balcony
nice.
from our room, and
Nice.
so I went out and just taped them one night, and it was
That's
they were
really cool.
amazing.
See, actually, my favorite night show is actually World of Color at California Adventure.
That was an amazing show. Yeah.
Cool.
Like that's another show that it's evolved over the years. It was closed for about 2 years, like because basically the platform got all messed up and it was literally broken. They had to like repair it, and they drained the whole thing.
Oh, really?
Yeah. But that was a big deal. And so during the pandemic, they spent a lot of time fixing that, and that just opened, I think, this summer, or a little before all the night shows came back here.
Yeah.
Like so, like they kind of.
You know, what's funny is from our house at 9 p.m., you can hear and you can see some of the Magic Kingdom fireworks just over the treetop.
Mm-hmm.
But when we moved there, it was during COVID to put the kids in better schools. And they didn't do fireworks all
Yeah.
through. And so literally they restarted for the 4th of July in 2021. And the first time they shoot off these fireworks, I'm thinking it's July 3rd, and that's when our neighborhood normally shoots off
Yeah,
fireworks.
yeah.
And you could see one or two of them typically from the back porch, but I'm hearing boom, 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 boom. And I walk out and I'm like, wow.
Someone's
it's been
got a
good-
show.
I've been like, they spent a lot of money on fireworks this year. Maybe we should have gone down and watched what they were doing. And then on July 4th, boom, 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 boom. And it's even bigger. And I'm like, wow, they normally don't do 2 days in a row. And this is even better. They must have made a lot of money off of the new homeowners in the community this year. And by the
Then you
5th, it
realize-
was like boom, 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 boom. I'm like, I don't think that's the neighborhood.
That's great.
Yeah. Well, hey, thank you both so much for being on.
No, thanks for having us.
Yeah, thank you.
And so once again, your conference is
DGIQ,
DGIQ.
Data Governance and Information Quality Conference in Washington, D.C. It's DGIQ East. It's a really great thing, especially if you're into Purview and Catalog and all that other stuff in data quality.
absolutely. And you're going to be at the Azure Data and AI Conference in Las Vegas.
Absolutely.
Yeah. You should definitely check both of those out. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thanks, everyone.
Thank you both.